Hello, welcome to another episode of the Watch That Joan podcast. My name is Mary.
And I'm James.
Happy 4th of July,
Happy
guys.
Happy 4th of freaking July, yo.
Yeah,
It's boom boom time, with the fireworks and
don't say
the
that.
grilling.
Boom Boom does not kind of take fireworks in my mind.
Yeah. Especially, we just watched a very violent show, so I can see how boom boom is more violent than celebratory. But yeah, no, I think it'll be a fun time to go and uh cook up some stuff outside and watch some fireworks, and it'd be fun. And I think I'm feeling extra patriotic this year because the Olympics is also happening very soon. The Olympic trials just ended.
Yeah, you've been watching the qualifiers? Pretty good, huh?
Yes, yes, they are
Yeah.
pretty good. And
Who is your favorite person to watch? Her favorite sport?
so gymnastics is always interesting. It stresses me out though, watching Simone Biles and everyone because they have like they can win it all, but I feel like a few mistakes, especially on balance beam, can cause us to fall to either
And
a
there's so
silver
much,
or
just so much expectations
on
for Simone
Simone.
Biles to
Yeah.
just be exemplary every time she
Yes.
chalks her hands.
Exactly.
So
So and most of the time she does it, but it is a little stressful. But track and field, Mary, oh my God, the brothers and sisters who are running track and field in the United States blew my mind.
yeah, yeah.
Blew my mind. Like I can't like
What's
no
the
one
name of
ever.
the bull who had the Yu-Gi-Oh cards for what's that Exodia? He had like Exodia Yu-Gi-Oh
They
cards.
call him Kung Fu Kenny.
Uh,
He was running with
no,
the
I thought there was
Naruto.
some. No, there's someone else called Kung Fu Kitty. He's like a taller, darker dude. I'm talking about a dude. He has braids.
Oh, I don't know.
He won something. I think he was a world champion last year or something like that. Oh, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was exciting time this summer.
It is exciting. But the Olympics always make me kind of sad because they always are like at the end of summer. So I'm like, dang, summer really is like
What is end of July? Summer's a very short season, so
it is. It
yeah.
is.
But yeah. So speaking of season, the context of his episode is House of the Dragon, season 2, episode 3.
Episode 3. Yeah.
Yes.
I was able to watch it twice, thank God, because the first time I watched it, I was just like, I don't know what's going on. Which makes sense because, episode 1 and 2, so much had happened. Like, it was just so much violence. So I understand that episode 3 is more of an establishing episode.
Yeah, and it's called the Burning Mill, and that's how the episode opens up, right? So you got the
You remember the houses?
Blackwoods, yeah, the Blackwoods and the Brackens.
The Brackens. The Brackens.
So the Bracken supports Aegon,
Okay, so they're
the
the Greens.
Hightowers, they're the Greens, and the Blackwood supports Renana or the Blacks,
Rhaenyra. Who is Rhaenyra?
Rhaenyra, Rhaenyra, and the Blacks, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And they apparently are been beefing for a while, right? Their land seemed like it overlapped, and a conflict ensued because the
One of them said to the other, he was like, pretty much you remove this barrier and
mhm.
now your cows can cross over into our side of the field and graze on all grass. And he's like, F you, I ain't do that. And they said, oh, you support a babe killer. And then, it was just a petty argument that went terribly wrong.
That turned to a war.
It escalated so quickly. Literally, we see the kid. I don't know which one he is. I think I say we see the kid he's a green. He supports the high tower.
Yep.
5 minutes later, he has a freaking stake in his neck.
He has a sword in his neck, and it's his own sword too,
How do you know it's his own sword?
because they showed a brief glimpse of the hilt of the sword, and
His family's insignia was on it. His clan.
no, when he pulled the sword out, right? When he pulled the sword out, they showed a hint, the hilt of it, and I noticed that it was his same sword in his throat.
Do you think that's kind of like a
Yeah,
like a metaphor, or maybe like
yeah,
a, it's like, okay, you are the cause of your own destruction.
yes, exactly. I think that's exactly what it is, right? It was so much hatred over a petty feud. You know, because think about it nowadays, right? Like, I guess, I guess I kind of take that back. I don't want to
No,
go down
you're
that
true.
rabbit hole.
You're right. People argue over dumb stuff, and it turns to something a lot larger than it needs to be. Like, how many times we hear people getting shot over sneakers,
Yeah,
or being jealous of someone in a relationship, you know what I mean? Or like, so many people die over the pettiest, dumbest things that
and yeah, and this, you know, it was a uh, a disaster. Just bodies over
there were so
bodies.
many
Just,
bodies. I couldn't
just
believe that it was a war between these two families. I was like, wait, am I missing something?
exactly. I was like, wow, like they almost wiped each other out over one altercation between kids. Once again, like you said last episode, these young or just men in general, but in this particular case, young men, hot headed, don't know how to control their temper, and they're ruining it for everybody. You know, they literally caused hundreds of people to die, right? And now, you know, they. I think this kickstarted the war, and that's how I think that's how the rest of the kingdom views it. Because when Aegon found out what happened, he was like, "Good, blood was shed on our side because the Brackens won."
Yeah. But before we get to Aegon, after that, pretty much like that all out massacre between the two families,
Yeah.
we go to Rhaenyra and Rhaenys, and do you remember who they are burying?
Oh, they're burying the twin knights.
Arik and Eric. Yeah.
Yeah, they're
I'm
burying them
still
niggas.
very sad to see them both gone. They were good men. They were
Yeah.
good men. They were dutiful men, just thrown into chaos, and just I feel bad for them. And even I remember it was Jaehaerys, Rhaenyra's son. He said that Arik sullies the grave of his brother, and Rhaenyra is pretty much just like, even though this man tried to kill her, it's like the blame really comes from whoever sent him,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. No, you're right. You're
And
right.
it's
And then
funny
yeah,
because
and
I
then
mean,
he asks, what are you gonna do about that? Like, what are you gonna do about the people who came and killed your right hand man? You know, what are you gonna do? And she just looked down and didn't say anything.
because I don't know what they, I don't know. I don't know. It's obviously, throughout this episode, we see just how much Rhaenyra and Alicent are in charge, that everyone's doing their own thing.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Just kind of like, yeah, you're the queen. You're the queen dowager, but we do what we want. You guys are just women at the end, and we'll see more of that later. But what was interesting about this scene is that what I noticed, it closes showing us Eric and Arik in the grave, and then the next scene is of Christian Cole, and we're looking at him from above, like the camera is placed below him, so it looks like he's looking down into the grave, and
Mm,
it's just like pretty much them saying, "Yeah, you put these men to their deaths. This is your fault, Cole," and it absolutely
absolutely.
is.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's still pretty trash. You know, I still think he's scum. You
And his
know. And,
haircut doesn't make it any better.
no, yeah, the haircut was terrible. That's the first thing Eileen said when we walked in.
I
He's
actually
like, "Yo,
like the
what?"
haircut on him a lot more, but still, he's still a douche.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Like, yo, who
and
did
I
this?
relish in the fact that the King's Guard and no one takes him seriously as Hand of the King.
Yeah, they don't, because they were just kind of hanging there when he was walking down the stairs. Right, his subordinates was kind of just sitting there, and he looked at him, and they were like, "I guess I gotta stand up."
Yeah, it was very begrudgingly. Like, it was
Yes.
reluctant. It was like, "Oh, you're the hand now. Ooh. Oh, you
Ooh,
Hollywood now," as black people
ooh,
will
you
say.
Hollywood now. Exactly, exactly. Even when Alicent's brother,
Who has
who
the
joined their
dumbest
party,
name?
what's his name?
His name is Gwaine.
Ew.
Like G Wayne. That's how it's spelled. I was like, Gwaine, ew.
The names in the names in this show we talked about it a lot. There, it's a lot.
Yeah, but I like all of the names besides that. Even though
Gwen.
they're the same, like Rhaena, Rhaenys, and Rhaenyra, and I don't know. The names are very the same. The name Gwen sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. And he would just jab at him. He was like, "Oh yeah, you're the hand of the king. You know, after my father served three kings, so you must." Like he said, "Oh, you really did well for yourself." Just basically talking trash. Like, what did you
Yeah.
do to get my father out the throne?
And
You know,
Otto
like
always getting fired. Like he
he
can't keep a
is.
job.
He is. You
I
don't got
might have
no
said
job,
that last
Tommy.
right. We might have said that last episode, but it's funny when I think about it.
Yeah.
But going back to um Cole not being respected as the hand of the king,
Hmm.
Aegon is still not respected as the king. And I honestly I'm starting to have a little more sympathy for him.
For Aegon.
For Aegon, yeah. For let's be clear. For Aegon Targaryen, well, not even that. Okay, because we know that Rhaenyra also has a son named Aegon.
Yeah, we know who you talk about, the king. You have
Yeah,
sympathy for the king.
yeah, but
Yes.
you know, just to clear up, yes, Aegon Targaryen, the king. Because I was going to say the first, but there's an Aegon before him. So yeah, so Aegon
Yeah.
Rhaenyra's brother. I feel bad for him. Remember when they were all seated at the table? Just how the way that his councilmen were speaking around him when they were talking about Tully, one of them pretty much called Tully like a fat bastard or something, and just he was speaking very vulgarly in front of the king.
You're right. And you know what's funny is Telly is that's Samwell Tully, great
Yeah,
great 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 grandfather probably.
yeah, yeah, and you know, Sam will always pretty much the only one of the Tullys who isn't a complete douche is
Yeah,
Samwell.
yeah,
Like that, they literally sent him to the wall because they were embarrassed of him.
yeah. Because he was intelligent
Well, because I think because he wasn't athletic, he didn't know how to
yeah,
fight. He was just
yeah.
fat and happy, and they didn't like that.
Yeah. How dare you be fat and happy?
Right,
You gotta
right.
choose one.
You have to choose one. If you're fat, you need to hate yourself. But yeah, um, yeah, it's just a lot of respect for Aegon, and then it was so funny. Pretty much um, when Christian Cole laid out his plan, he said, "Listen, um, we need to take hold of Harrenhal." And I didn't know the significance of Harrenhal. I had to do some research, but Damon says that Harrenhal is the largest castle in
In
the
the
Seven
Seven Kingdom.
Kingdoms.
Yep,
It's the biggest one,
yep.
and pretty much the Brackens and you said what, the Blackwoods, that first
Yeah,
family.
the Brackens and the Blackwoods. Yes.
So they are Riverland people, and pretty much both sides, both the Greens and the Black, they want to like rally the Riverland people to one of their sides because a lot of them are undeclared, and they want to station them in Harrenhal because it's enough room for all of them. So Christian Cole was saying, you know, the key to the Riverlands is Harrenhal. So he was like, I'm going to lead an expedition out to try to um, rally the people who already, you know, are on our side. And Aegon was like, I'll come with them. And they all were saying, no, Aegon, you know, you're the king. We don't want to put your life at risk. And he said, I'm as fearsome as any of them. And did you notice one of the councilmen just sipped his tea? He just grabbed a glass.
Yeah, yeah.
I was
That was
like, not him
hard.
sipping tea.
Exactly. He just kind of sipped his tea and like, I'm just gonna go and ignore this.
I'm
You're not as
just
fearsome.
the blatant disrespect. The king said this, and you sipped your
Yes.
tea. No one said a word. I said,
A
wow,
word.
wow.
A word.
And you know, he's really buddy buddy with his Kingsguard too. So I think they crossed the line. And I even remember when Aegon was trying on his armor.
And they were kind of mocking him a little bit. Like,
They were like gassing him up, but you can tell
yeah.
they were only doing that because he's the king.
Hmm.
He looked ridiculous in the armor. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie. And I felt bad, but he did. He said, you know, I have the conqueror's name. I have the
And the crown.
conqueror's crown. I'm gonna wear this armor. But it's like you are not Aegon the Conqueror, boo boo.
Mm-mm. You're not. You're not. And to be going back a little bit, right? I found a map of Westeros, which is a continent essentially.
We did the same research. What?
Yeah,
Is this like,
and
are we having a twin moment even though we're not twins?
yes, we're as close as twins as possible.
I wouldn't go
But
that far.
Dragonstones, shut up. Dragonstone is equidistant to Harrenhal as King's Landing is.
Oh, snaps.
Yeah. So like
Yeah, that's
if you draw like
crazy.
a triangle, they're about equidistant from each other.
So the race is on.
The race is on, right? And we
Wow.
already know that that what's dude name? Damon. We already know that Damon is at Harrenhal, right? And that uh uh what Reyna, the
What?
the the black daughter,
The
what's her
black
name?
daughter is Reyna. The black daughters are Reyna and Bela. Reyna is the older
Yes.
one with the dragon. And what? I'm gonna get back to that, but continue.
Yes, so she's basically circling along around the Crown Lands, trying to intercept anyone coming in or out of King's Landing, right? And then uh, Sir Cole and his troop are going straight from King's Landing
And
northwest to
Gawain.
Harrenhal, yeah, and Gawain, right? So it's right equidistant, and you can just see somewhere in the middle is going to be a boom, a collide.
So you think that's going to be the next episode, the battle in the Riverlands?
Probably, yeah, because what else is up here? Yeah,
Well, I know you have the seven kingdoms of Westeros is the north. Well, so they said you have Westeros. In Westeros, there are seven kingdoms, and then and the seven kingdoms are made up of nine regions: the North, the Iron Islands, the Riverlands, the Vale, the Westerlands, the Stormlands, the Reach, the Crownlands, and Dorne.
yeah, I see all that. Yeah,
Which one's the biggest one
the
of the nine
biggest one,
regions? Is it the Riverlands?
it might actually be the North. The North is freaking
The
huge.
North. Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess. Yeah, it probably is. That's why the North is so valuable
yeah.
in both stories.
The Riverland literally is the middle. There's a lot of rivers cutting through it, but I
Wow,
think you.
really?
No, like I'm just looking at the map for the first time,
I never would have guessed that.
and the Stormlands it's just mostly mountains. I think the North is probably the largest. You know,
Is the Vale that weird place where the dwarf went? What is his name from Game of Thrones? Tyrion went,
Tyrion.
and that weird lady was still nursing her like 7-year-old son.
Oh yeah, the Vale. I think. Yeah,
Because that's where Caitlyn Stark is from, right? Wasn't that her sister?
I think so. Yeah, yeah, the Vale,
She's the only one who's not weird
and then
at the Vale.
Valeria, old Valeria.
Old Valeria. What are we talking about that?
No, I'm just looking at the map. You can
Oh,
ignore me.
oh yeah. Old Valeria's gone. It got burned up.
Yeah, yeah, no, you could ignore me.
So Old Valeria, we're going way off topic, but Old Valeria was destroyed by a volcano and all the dragons were killed.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's what happened. A volcanic eruption destroyed Valeria. And for some reason, I thought that dragons are fire resistant or fireproof.
Fireproof.
But then I'm like, how would other dragons kill other dragons? Would they just use their teeth and
Yeah, that's
and
true. They're probably like fire resistant. We're getting way off topic.
I think it's a good question. I
Are
think it's a good
dragons
question.
fireproof?
Are the dragons in Game of Thrones? Well, first of all, you feel like looking to see how Valeria was done. Was it a volcano or did I make that up?
Oh, I'll look.
This
Old.
is why we need to do more research beforehand. But when we go way off topic like this, we can't research everything.
You can't research everything.
Yeah. But while you do that, I'm gonna talk about what is Damon. I'm about to be like you calling him Damien, like he's a Wayans brother. Um, let's talk about
Yeah, exactly. You're right. Valeria, commonly known as Old Valeria, was a city located in Estos. It is the ancestral home of both the House Targaryen and House
Valerian,
Valerian, but lies in ruins after it was destroyed by the cataclysmic event, the Doom of Valeria.
which was what? Did you already say that? What it was? The Doom?
No, I don't know what it is. Just the Doom. I'm just reading what the website said, Mary.
What's the
So just keep
do?
going. The
Okay.
do of Vallejo. What is that?
This whole episode, Google search, Google search.
The eruption of 14 flames. People
From a
don't know.
volcano.
People
Okay,
don't know what it
whatever.
is.
I just thought
Just
a dragon could withstand a lot of heat, but I guess not. Guess the dragon's got to get out the kitchen. But yeah, I really thought that it was a strong testament to the type of person that Laris Strong is. That literally you come to, because Laris is now the Lord of Harrenhal after he killed his own brother and father
yep.
and made it seem like it's because that's what Alicent wanted.
Yeah.
So now Laris is the Lord of Harrenhal, and now, because he's saying that it's Alicent's the reason why he killed them, he has like this blackmail, I guess, for lack of better words, on Alicent. And he has more of a standing because he's the Lord of the biggest castle in the Seven Kingdoms.
Yeah.
So I think it's a real testament to his character and how detestable he is, that you are the lord of this castle, but Damon gets there and they're like, nah, we don't F with him.
That was funny. Like so when Damon was flying, right, and he jumped off, and you know what? I don't understand because he obviously flew into this castle with a dragon, and then this nigga had a nerve to jump out and act like all stealth mode when he was walking over. Like he didn't just tell the whole like country that you were there, and then he
Oh,
was
with his
looking
big old
around.
dragon?
Yeah, he landed on the top of the
Well, it's a
tower.
big castle. They said, I'm guessing it's a huge castle, and it probably took a little longer for word to get around that someone was there. And it seems like a relatively vacant castle. I don't see a lot of people in there.
Yeah, no,
That
it looked completely vacant.
and it was dinner time. I guess people didn't want to be bothered during dinner.
Yeah, they said Aegon the Conqueror and his dragon burned much of the castle, which is why it was just devastated. It looked vacant and everything.
Why
It
did
says
Aegon do? Okay.
each house that has ruled within Harrenhal has suffered a poor fate, leading to widely to be considered cursed.
Okay. So hopefully something bad will happen to Lars and his clubfoot.
Well, I don't think anything bad happened to Lawrence, but there was a prediction on Damon's fate.
From who?
Remember when he was in Harrenhal, right? Remember we talked about he popped up. It's a little further ahead, but he popped up and the dude was basically like, "Welcome, like the castle is yours. We swear fealty
How is it
to."
farther ahead? We were just talking about that.
No, I'm saying later on, right? Damon had like a dream, like a waking dream that
Oh, of Rhaenyra
of Rhaenyra,
and Jaehaerys.
and Jaehaerys, but she was sewing his head back, and he like awoken, and there was a woman behind him, and the woman said, the woman essentially was like, "You will die here," right? And
Per
I think that's the same tree that
the gods
the
would.
I no, not the Godswood. I think this is the same tree that the little wheelchair nigga in Game of Thrones was in. That
The
Braun, Braun,
Bran.
Yes, Raisin Bran. Yeah.
Raisin
So,
Bran.
so yeah, Raisin
Raisin
Bran.
Bran Crunch is so good.
Yo, Raisin Bran Crunch slaps. I was telling Arlene that the other day. It slaps. But anyway, yeah. So Bran, he had visions at that tree, because he was the three-eyed raven, and I think that woman behind him is the three-eyed
Oh my
raven that we
God!
don't
You
know
think
yet.
that's the spirit of the three-eyed raven?
Yes, I think it is
Oh
because he had a vision.
shit!
He had a vision that of the chaos and the destruction that he had, you know.
What?
Um, and yeah, and she said you would die here. And I was like, oh crap, that's a
What?
three-eyed raven.
That's a three-eyed raven. Oh man. Sometimes ignorance is bliss. I don't want no three-eyed raven unless it's for small things like, hey Mary, I don't know, don't sit there. Someone peed on that bus seat, or I don't
You'll
know.
find $20 on the street today, like stuff like that.
Yeah, I want low stakes three-eyed
low,
raven.
I want low stake visions.
Yeah.
You know,
Like, if you don't follow them, but if you
eh,
want to avoid a little bit of inconvenience, listen to
yeah.
me. Oh man, that's so specific. I can see them saying that on like on like Adventure Time or something. I don't know, just like
You will die here, like right here. I'm never coming back here. Like
but
never coming back.
yeah, going back to Harrenhal, even how they're saying, they were like, how the heck can a fire start when it's literally damp here all the time?
Exactly, all the time. And it is showed because like when he was in his room, it was literally just raining in his room.
It was just leaking. It's like, how the hell would a fire start here? We don't trust him. He's not like us.
No,
Dun,
they're
dun,
not
dun,
like
dun. He
that.
not like us. He not like us.
Basically.
So yeah. And you know what's one thing that's interesting? Remember when Damon corrected I don't know the man's name.
Oh, so Damon is the snakey of snake young bulls, yo. So Damon was
You
like,
said young bull. He a
Damon
old
was
head.
like, I am not the prince. I am your grace.
Your grace.
And I was like, oh, that means that he's coming for the crown.
He said it
is-
too. He said
Yeah.
it too. They were like, so when we do all you want to do, garrison the people of the Riverlands at Harrenhal, what do? He said, we march on King's Landing and take the throne.
Exactly. We
And
ride
it's
it.
like, okay, we can assume that when he says we, Rhaenyra's included, or maybe he's doing this in Rhaenyra's name. But if you're saying to call me your grace, nah, there's now 3 people fighting for this throne.
There is.
And there might be a 4th, my nigga.
Who you think it is? Who thinks the fourth?
So, remember. Well, let's talk about. Let's try to go. In order so we don't forget anything.
No. You got a point. Tell the point.
You don't
Who
remember that
think
nigga
is the
Oath?
fourth? Oh.
Oath, that man, he was just, walking around King's Landing, drinking and having a good time. He claims to be Jaehaerys's grandson. So he's
Yeah,
claiming
he
to
did.
be Viserys and Daemon's half-brother. So apparently he's saying that their father, Balon, had a bastard, and he's that bastard.
He's that bastard. He's the Jon Snow of the story.
He's the Jon Snow of the story. Yeah, I guess. I love Johnny Snow. I love him
Johnny
so
Snow.
much. Ugh. Kit
But that
Harington
man-
is just. Ugh.
That man had some riz. The way he was walking up and dipping people up. Like
Don't
this-
ever say Riz to me. Charm is a word. Gen Z
He had
Charm.
he had the
is a word.
he had that riz, like
I hate you. Wow.
Not
I'm about
the-
to cancel this podcast
not
altogether.
not the what do they call it? Ohio toilet riz.
I don't know I don't know what words you're stringing together, but it's pissing me off.
It's whatever the young kids say.
You're not a young man.
I'm not a young man. So the dude, what was his name? You said Gal?
His name is Ulf.
Oath. Okay, first off,
I
it's a
only
terrible
learned
name.
it from the subtitles.
Yeah, he's nowhere on this chain, which I guess makes sense because
They're trying
on
to
his
keep it a
family tree.
surprise.
Trying to keep it a surprise.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
Balin married Alyssa, and they had Daemon and Viserys. So he's saying that he's one of those brothers.
He's saying that Balin was out getting some side booty. And yeah, that's how he was born. But the interesting thing about him is that he's not claiming for Aegon. I guess he is claiming for Rhaenyra, but he doesn't want Rhaenyra on the throne. He wants her son, Jacaerys Valerian, on the throne. And I'm like, why? Then I was like, oh yeah, because she's a woman. That's why.
He wants
He wants
Who?
Jace on the throne.
Jace.
Yep, Jace is he's Jace strong,
Oh, okay.
He's,
okay, yeah.
I guess it's bastards supporting bastards, maybe.
Okay, so he wants Rhaenyra, oldest son, to be on the throne. and
Yeah,
not-
so
instead of
let's run
Rhaenyra.
down Rhaenyra's kids. The oldest one is Jacaerys Valerian. His
Yep.
father is Harwin Strong, but we're going to lie and say it's Laenor Valerian.
Yep. Yep.
Then we have Luke Valerian, who was killed by Vagar,
Eaten.
demolished by Vagar,
Chomp.
devoured. Um, yeah, he's also Harwin's strong kid, but we're gonna lie and say it's Laner. Then we have Joffrey Valerian, who I didn't even remember existed until this episode.
Neither did I.
So she had 3 kids with Harwin strong. Then we have Aegon Targaryen II, Daemon's kid, Viserys Targaryen II, Daemon's kid, and she had a stillborn named Visenya Targaryen.
Mm.
So she's down to 4 kids. Let me see. Uno, two,
Aegon the
three,
younger, not Aegon the second. Aegon the
Aegon
second.
the younger. Okay, yeah, Aegon the
yes.
younger. That's good. Yeah. So it's annoying how they name so many people after different people and so many names are similar, but that's what we do in real life, so I can't even get too mad about it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I am interested to see what sort of trouble Ulf is going to cause. I can see him being like a troublesome comic relief type character.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe he's the comic relief. Maybe
I think he's
he.
going to be serious, but I think he's going to bring some comedic relief to the story.
Yeah, he was like I said. He came in. He was high fiving everybody, having a drink. He was telling the story about who he was, and then the king himself walked into the bar.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
Um.
just I think why do you think Aegon got so drunk that night?
Well, I think he is trying to. I don't think he really wants to be king. I think he wants to be king, but I don't think he wants the responsibility for it. I think he only wants the fun part. He wants to go to war. He wants to go and like be a hero and all that stuff and on his throne. But at the end of the day, he doesn't really want to deal with the silly politics of I can't get this guy his goat back because I need to take his goat to feed my dragons. All right, he doesn't really want to deal with.
That reminds me of me in college. I was thinking about pledging to I'm not going to say which sorority, but those were all the wrong reasons. I just wanted to be cool at parties. I didn't care
Yeah,
about the sisterhood
you
and I
just
didn't
wanted
want
to
to get
dance in,
hazed.
to stroll in.
Yeah, that's all I wanted. I just wanted that.
Yeah, and that's what he only wants the good part of being king. And to be honest with you, there's a lot of good parts, but of being king.
See,
But
I
yeah,
see
I
it
don't
as
think
him
he's
kind of finally accepting, kind of sadly and like angrily
moving on.
accepting, huh?
Moving on, you mean?
No, just accepting the fact that no one takes him seriously, that he's not the real king. He's just kind of a figurehead, and everyone coddles him and sees him as a fun time, but not as a king, not as a ruler, not as someone to look to for guidance. So he's just like, screw it. I'm gonna have a good time. I'm gonna be the goofball that you all think I am.
Hmm. I don't think so. That's a good perspective, though. You think he just kind of playing in? I think he just
I think he
he's
just gave
he.
up. He's like, I'm just gonna whatever. I don't like. I'm never going to be because when he looked at himself in the mirror wearing Aegon the Conqueror's
Mm,
clothes, you saw the look on his face.
it was subconscious.
It was like, what am I doing? Like
Yeah,
he didn't feel confident. Yeah, he felt self
yeah.
conscious,
But he's
and he just
also
said,
a
maybe I'll fly out
child.
another day. Huh?
This kid is this. He's a child.
How old is he?
I don't know, but he's child age.
Can
He's
you look it
like
up?
not. No, I can't look it up.
This
He's
is the
probably
show. This show is now called Google That John. Look it up.
Google that, John. This nigga look like he's 17.
I think he's older than that.
Aegon.
I would reckon he's like 21.
Oh my god.
Well, we
Mary.
actually know the math. He was 2 years old when Rhaenyra was 18. Because remember, on his name day, they had that hunt, and he was 2 years old. I think Rhaenyra was 18 then. But then again, I don't know how old Rhaenyra is now, or how many years have passed. So.
In the book, they said he's 22.
Okay, okay. It's still incredibly young.
Okay, so
I wouldn't trust a 22-year-old.
so if he's 2 years old when Rhaenyra is on her 18th birthday, right?
Well,
Then
it was his second birthday.
his second birth. So she's 16 years older than he is. So that means that she's 38.
But how do you know how old she is? Oh, because
He
you know
was
how old he is. Okay. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah. So she's 38.
yeah. Okay, yeah. You know what I was thinking about the actress who played Rhaenyra? I think her name is Emma Diorce. Did Doesn't she look like Hunter Schafer, Rue from Euphoria?
Who?
You know Rue from Euphoria?
No, but
Hunter
who looks like
Schafer?
Rue?
Uh Rhaenyra's the person who plays Rhaenyra. I think her name is Emma Diorce.
No, she doesn't look like Rue.
She does. They both got the boy brow, the blue eyes, the
Rue,
strong.
you talk about
No, not Rue, not Rue. Jules.
Jules was white.
I'm saying Rhaenyra looks like Jules from Euphoria.
Oh, Rhaenyra. I thought you said the. I was looking at the other Rhaenyra, Renana,
That's Rhaena.
Reyna. These names.
All right, but where did we leave off? So yeah, so Oath is interesting, but I want to get back to the freaking audacity that Rhaenyra's councilman had at that meeting. Do you remember what the nigga said to her? The Queenie Ween?
Oh, they counseled. They suggested that she leave and hide.
Like
And
what?
she was like, you would fight this war without me. And he was like, only to protect you. She's like, this is treason.
That is treason.
It's like, what?
Listen, it's just so disgusting. I am your queen. You pledged for me. Yet you're sitting here at a table thinking you know more than me.
Yeah. No, you're
Thinking
right.
that you can do this without me. And my thing is, them niggas is stupid. They literally want to utilize every dragon they have at the flip of a hat. Niggas, these are dragons. These are my dragons. I'm not
Yeah.
just gonna send my dragons out willy-nilly because you said so.
And
Valeria's
also,
gone.
and also, what people don't realize, and I guess this is what Rhaenyra
Just
realized,
send the dragons. That
and
pissed me off.
and what Alicent realized, right, is that these dragons are alpha predators, Mary.
It's a
If you
freaking
have
dragon.
if you have these alpha predators go and attack humans, you're not gonna be able to get them to stop.
That is,
Like
yeah.
they are
Just
going
like
to
with Vagar. Aemon and
Yeah.
Vagar.
Yes, and that was
You
a little
can't
short
stop her.
instance of it.
Yeah.
They're not gonna be able to get these dragons to stop.
It's just
They're
like,
gonna destroy
dog.
everything.
I just feel like people who ain't never rode a dragon should not be speaking on dragons.
Mm-hmm.
Like, mind your business. What are you eating?
I was drinking my
Oh,
coffee.
I heard
okay?
something crunching. I was like, what is this man eating?
It was the ice for my cup.
Sure it was. You have french fries, don't you?
No, I don't have French fries.
I wish I had some. But
Me too.
one thing about this show, like
Mm-hmm.
this show has many dragons, but I feel like I'm not learning anything about them. Like
No,
I want to
just-
see how huh?
I'm about to say just that they got some long necks. I don't really like the dragons the way they look. Like they're too serpentine
they look like-
for me.
Well, you have some dragons that look like straight lizards, like Bela's dragon, Moon
Yeah.
Dancer. I think that's
Yeah.
his name. It looks like an
Yeah.
iguana.
It looked like a iguana.
Um,
Damon's dragon, he has a. I was saw that. I'm like, that's a long neck, just slithering around and just. It doesn't seem is the neck.
it has
too
it has
long
the
to be
neck of an
intimidating.
Eastern dragon, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not completely because Eastern dragon is
Yeah.
all neck.
Yeah. No wings.
It's no legs. It's just like very short.
It's a snake. It's a snake.
It's a snake. It's a
It's
snake.
like a water
with-
like a
it's
snake.
a snake with feet. Know.
Remember that episode of Bob's Burgers where Gene was talking about how he's afraid of snakes? He said,
Oh, yeah.
"Where are their arms and legs?"
Yeah.
But yeah. So I like this show has many dragons. I'm seeing more dragons than ever, but I'm not learning anything about them. Like I want to learn how dragons riders bond with them. Like
too.
I want to see more instances of dragons acting like the wild beasts they are, and they actually pose a threat to their riders.
But I
like-
also want to see how intelligent they are.
How intelligent
Right.
they are. How do you saddle them? Like
'Cause-
what you never do to your dragon.
Yes, because you know why we're so interested, Mary? Because we read the same book. And what book am I talking about?
Oregon.
Aragon, right? And Aragon, the dragon rider and dragon could have a telepathic conversation with each other.
That is
The
true.
dragon was wise and intelligent and could use magic You know, the dragon was another entity, you know, and here they're just rah, but you could tell they're more than just a rah, you know. You could tell that they have some sort of depth to them.
Because my
But I
thing is like well, continue, continue.
no, but I feel like because of the chaos, which is this show, and the violence, which we love, over supersedes the dragon. We just hear about the house, but we're not hearing about the dragon.
Yeah, I'm like, it's called House of the Dragon, but it's like I'm not learning anything about these dragons. Like, these are not puppies. These aren't pit
Yeah.
bulls. Like, I'm assuming it's extensive time to not even train these dragons. Can you train them? You know, they said all they say is, you take the dragon egg and you put it in the baby's crib, and the dragon pretty much implants on the baby. But
Yeah.
it has to be more than that. I'm pretty sure, like, anytime Lena's dragon burnt her up, like, just because you imprint on a dragon doesn't mean that you're safe from harm from your dragon. This is a dragon. So I just want to see more of how they got to that point where you can ride these dragons. And I want to hear more commands. I still only know Dracarys.
That's all we know is Dracarys. Just burn them.
I heard Bayla said something when she was chasing Gwaine
Yeah.
and
Wayne
Cole.
and Cole. Yeah, she did say something, and he flew up. But they're all speaking Old Valerian.
You
You know
saw
that
how
language.
scared Gwaine was. You saw the tears in his eyes.
Yeah, no, he was. He almost pooped his
Understandably.
pants.
Yeah,
Almost pooped the suit of
understandably.
armor.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
When you get tracked down by a dragon, you know, and it's just you and your horse and a dragon.
And my horse. What if my
I,
horse just decides to stop?
well, the horse is not going to decide to stop. It might throw you off of it so it can run faster, but the horse is just as scared as the man on top of it. You know, so
But one thing that Helena said. So, all right, were you surprised that Helena forgave Alicent?
Helena.
Helena, that's the woman who
Oh, the
lost her
daughter.
baby.
The daughter. You're right.
The
That was
queen.
a yeah. No, you're right. That was excuse me. I just almost died there.
What
That
happened?
was I had like a little hiccup yawn.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know. I'm old.
What does that even sound like?
It was a hiccup yawn. I don't know.
What would you call the
A yawn
the
up.
yawn cup?
Now you forgot what I was gonna say.
We're talking about Helena.
Yeah. So I was surprised that one that she was bold enough to. What are you singing?
There's a song by My Chemical Romance called Helena, and now I'm just thinking about it.
Whatever.
All right, keep going.
So, so I was surprised that one, she brought up the fact that she saw them smashing, and the fact that she knew her mother felt guilty for it. You know, I think it's another instance that she's not as crazy or dim-witted as people think.
She's not
That
crazy
she's
at all.
Yeah, that she sees and she says, "I forgive you,"
She
and
is
she didn't even have to say for
not.
what, just "I forgive you,"
Yeah.
and I think that meant the world to Allison.
Fuck Allison. I don't know. It's like I don't want her guilt to be alleviated. And I like Allison. I do like Allison, but it's like, girl, especially Cole. I want him to feel that guilt every day. Like I said, a baby was decapitated in his bed.
Yeah,
Oh my god. Like, oh my, like I feel for Aegon. I feel like Aegon can do whatever he want. I
good. Yeah,
do what you want. Everything he does is justified in my mind. Is it stupid? Yeah, it's justified. But remember what Helena said.
what
And
did
this
she
this
say?
shows that this woman is she yes, she's quirky, but she ain't no dummy. Ain't
What
nothing
she
wrong
say?
with her. She knows more than all of us. Do you remember what she said?
No.
She said, she was talking about that horrid funeral procession. She said, I warrant they thought I had no more right to grief than they do. Surely they lose their babies more than highborn ladies. They lose their babes more than highborn ladies.
Yeah.
So she's saying the woman was looking at her and she said that they thought, why are you grieving? Like, this happens to us on a daily.
Yeah. This is our struggle.
I would hate
This
to
is
be alive during that time. It just sounds like disease and death and famine and stank.
especially for women.
Yeah.
It's a
What did they
hard
do during the periods? Just sit on a sheep?
just probably I don't want to get too graphic, but yeah, it's a hard time to be a woman until like 10 years ago.
Like, was this like I know there's two different times, but was this around the time of the bubonic plague?
Actually, probably. I wouldn't be
Awful.
surprised if not before, like maybe before the plague, but definitely like some of her diseases and stuff instantly become can spread really fast.
One quick question: why doesn't Reign of Valerian have a dragon, but Bela does? If you don't know, I'm just like, why?
Uh, I don't know.
I don't know either.
Isn't Rhaena's? I thought Rhaena's dragon was the one that they stole. That Aegon stole, right? Because she was supposed to have her mother's dragon.
Shoot! Oh, you are right. That was Vagar. Aemon
Yeah, that was,
stole Vagar.
yeah, yeah. Because that was supposed to be Rhaena's dragon, and Aemon stole it.
Wow. I would have been pissed if someone stole Vagar. She's the biggest one
Yep.
and the oldest one. You right. You right.
And it's crazy because that feud of stealing the dragon, now that dragon is on the High Tower side, and not on the Rhaenyra side. So that really changing the tide of war is what this little boy did. By stealing that dragon. So it's crazy.
It is crazy. And one thing that I noticed, going back to Aegon, remember when Laris came into the room and convinced Aegon pretty much not to go out to war because he said, "Oh, there's people whispering saying that your mother and Aemon um tricked you into going out with Cole so they can run King's Landing behind your back."
Yeah.
And remember, Aegon was like, "Who said that?" And he was like, "Just whispers." And he was like, "Well, do something about it." And I'm like, yo, once again, Laris is just sowing his. Laris is going to have a lot of favors owed to him by very powerful people.
Yeah, no, he is um, a great master of whispers, but he's also a master manipulator.
He is. I know
You
you a
know,
massive manipulator and a fictional liable too, but don't tell no truths about me. No, don't tell no lies about
lies
me,
about
and
me,
I'll tell no
tell
truths
no
about you.
truths about you. But
Yeah.
yeah, man, all he does is tell lies about everybody. But I think you're right. I think one, him saying to handle it, gave him free reign to do whatever he wants,
He gave him the
and he
okay to kill.
to kill whoever he wants, and be like, "Yep, they were spreading lies about you."
Yeah, and to say I did this, Aegon told me to do it.
Exactly. Under the king's authority, slit your throat.
What? This man is crazy.
Yep, he's getting so much power
He
by just
is.
influence, and
He
he's in the
is.
shadows, so no one's gonna come for him to take his power.
I think he's already worse than Littlefinger.
I hated Littlefinger so much.
Littlefinger was a slow burn, though.
I hated him.
But it always started as him being the underdog. 'Cause, Littlefinger had a little dick. That's why he did all that. And now Laura's got a club foot. So, listen, it's yeah.
Yeah,
But
you're
okay,
right.
let's go to the end when Rhaenyra and Alicent finally meet.
So, what do you think about her plot to go see her in person?
Um, I don't know how I feel about it. I think it does make sense. You know how sometimes when it's just kind of like you're in an argument with someone, and let's say you hear about a bunch of he said, she said, hearsay stuff. Oh, she did this, you did that, and it's like let me go to the source and see what's going on with that person. I get it in theory, but
But
I don't.
she executed it poorly, in my opinion.
How do
That
you
was
think so?
terrible. So there has been instances, right? There's instances where Winston Churchill, he met Hitler.
Okay,
Like
historian.
like meaning that enemies have met face to face with one another. All right,
Like you and
either in the
I.
midst of war, exactly, in the midst of war, or before war, and it's always has been. I bring your people, you bring my people. We meet as place and time.
But they
We'll
can't
talk
trust
it
their
out.
people.
That's what I don't understand. Is like, hey, I'm gonna bring 10 men. You bring 10 men. We leave our dragons off on the side. We talk it out, right?
Yeah,
And we,
but they don't trust the people around them. It's the people around them who keep starting stuff and getting them
you're
into
right.
trouble.
You're right. But just
You
her
know,
coming in as like looking like a nun, or like and just walking
she
over,
looked like
like,
Hunter Schafer then. She looked like Jules then. You gotta
yeah,
watch it again.
yeah. No,
They got
I
the
looked
boy
her up.
brow.
I see Jules.
Yeah, you see it. You see it. Very pretty.
Yeah. So it's just like walk in and like I don't know. I think I think the whole thing seemed kind of corny. Just how easy she found her. It seems like even both of these castles, between um, the castle of King's Landing and their Fortitude of Dragonstone, these aren't castles. Like any nigga could walk up there. Just put a
You
hood
think
on.
it's not impenetrable enough?
No,
People can just
you,
waltz in.
people just
That is
walk in,
true.
go through the
Yeah.
night, put a hood up, mind your business, walk in, and then kill the queen, or kill the next heir
There
to the
has been a lot
throne.
of invasions. Yeah, they broke into.
This is not even an invasion. An invasion is a standing army coming into like
Well, I
you
mean,
can
just
see
like
an
home
invasion.
invasions, like not full people, but people just like going into people's houses and just doing
Yeah,
bad stuff. Yeah, there's
if
been a lot of that.
like literally when you think about even with like to when you think about how much war cost, right? And they saw how successful having random people go and commit their crimes was, right? It's save for, except for the Aarons and the Erics or whatever they are, killed themselves. You said 4 or 5 of them more. They can probably kill someone important enough. You know what I mean? Just like it's just crazy to me the lack of security in these strongholds.
Yeah, it is pretty easy to just run up in somebody's house on this show
Just walk up in the
and
crib
and behead a
it's-
baby.
and then like even with Damon, how he just popped in the Harrow Hall, and then one dude was like halt, and he just like punched him in the face and just walked past him. Like, where is your defenses? Don't you know you're in war?
This is war, man.
This is war, and you
Remember
just saw
Mushu said that in Mulan? This
Yeah,
is
it's
war,
like
man.
it's war, man. Pay attention. It's crazy.
I love Eddie Murphy, but yeah, I do feel like this was kind of rushed. Like I didn't expect them to meet up in this episode. I know this episode was like an hour and like 20 minutes long, but I didn't expect it. And yeah, the situation didn't feel tense enough to me. Like I understand that Rhaenyra had a knife to Alicent's belly, but if I'm right beside the woman who I believe is responsible for the beheading of my grandson, it's on sight.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try my damnedest to kill you. I don't care if you got me. It's on sight. But I guess it goes to show that they both know you are not responsible for these atrocities.
and she
They
said
know
it
each
too.
other's hearts. Yeah.
Rhaenyra said it too. She said that was not me.
Yeah, but I'm saying I think that Alicent knows that Rhaenyra isn't the person to do that. And Rhaenyra knows that Alicent isn't the person to do that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I
I
feel
feel
like
like-
even though they're at odds, they know that they will not cross certain lines.
No, and I think that Rhaenyra, well, Alicent
Just call her
was
Ray
more,
Ray.
Okay, from now on, her name is Ray Ray.
Ray
I think
Ray.
Alicent blamed herself more than she blamed Ray Ray
For what?
for the beheading of that baby.
Oh,
Of
she was
Jace.
getting her rocks off, dog.
Yeah, so she blames her and Cole more than she blamed Ray Ray.
Yeah. Because I think she knows that Rhaenyra wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
You know, they've been friends for a long time. So it's like, people change, but I don't think people change that much to be horrid monsters. Even after, Aemon killed her own son. I don't think Rhaenyra fully believes that it was... I don't think Alicent fully believes that Rhaenyra was responsible. Because I remember, was it her at the council room when Otto said it doesn't matter who did it when they're talking about Jaehaerys' beheading, we're going to put it on Rhaenyra. And she said, you're going to say that she did that? It may have been because of her own guilt, because, you know, she was there getting freaky with the person who's supposed to protect them. Or it could be it's just because I know Rhaenyra wouldn't do something this depraved.
Yeah.
But
No, you're right.
yeah.
You're right.
I don't know. That's how I feel about the situation. But yeah, the meetup, it was it didn't seem tense enough to me. And it's like Rhaenyra said something, she had the knife to Alicent's stomach, and Alicent said, "What if I scream out?" And Rhaenyra was like, "I'll get captured, but not before I gut you." And Alicent was like, "So what then?" And Rhaenyra just kind of said, "I planned this poorly." It was a weird place, in my opinion, to put humor. Like, it wasn't outright humorous, but it was a weird place, in my opinion, to break that tension
I think the reason
so
they
quickly.
did it was because she realized this is out of my character. Ray Ray. Ray Ray realized it was out of her character to gut her childhood best friend in like a place of worship. So she said it, and then as a, like a basically empty threat, got challenged on it, and she was like, "Oh, you know what? I don't have an escape plan. You know, I can't go and kill all these people. What's the point of killing you if I can't rule?" That's all she really wants. You know?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. If that were me, if the stakes are so high between them, I see myself going on with that facade, even if we both know it's like a facade. You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
But what you're saying does make sense. It does make sense. To
yeah.
me, it just felt like a weird place.
But also, she said, she said this is not starting off the right way. So she came there to make peace.
She did come there to make peace. That
Right?
is
She
true.
came to make
That
peace,
was the
and she
goal.
realized that, yo, I got a knife in this woman's belly. Talk about I'm gonna kill her. And then she was like, crap, yo, I'm trying
She's
to be
like,
nice.
oh, let me get it together. Yeah. Oh
Let
no,
me
that didn't mean to do that. Yeah.
didn't mean to do that. Haha, sorry. I want to make peace.
JK.
JK. And then I was wondering if they would, the tense part for me wasn't so much her getting caught, which I don't understand. I never think about the security. Is if your queen is sitting there praying, and
She's so vulnerable.
you're allowing someone else to come up to her. Every woman is lighting the candle, walking away, and this woman just sitting close up to her for minutes at a time. You don't even at least to go check on her,
And
to
it's
go
like
walk
all these
over
women
there.
are dressed the same. So
Yeah,
we
like
can't identify them easily if something were
yeah,
to
just
happen to the
just just
queen.
walk up and if I was a knight, I would just walk up and just peek my head over, make sure she's okay, and then let her go back to praying if she's okay.
Batman would
You
never
know,
let that happen.
Damon,
I said Batman would never let that happen.
Batman would beat the crap out of her.
Every scepter in there, too close to the queen.
Just beat the crap out of her.
It's so funny too because I was watching it with DQ, and when Damon came into Harrenhal, he said, "Who is this Batman?" And I was like, James said the same thing about Damon last
He
episode.
did. He did have his helmet look like look like a Batman mask because it
It
came
did.
across his nose.
It did, and it was nighttime. And,
It was
Batman
nighttime.
swear he's a bat. So
The
he's
Dark
nocturnal.
Knight.
The Dark Knight. Wow.
He was the
Wow.
Dark Knight for
He was the
real.
Dark Knight. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so now if you can't say Damon, say Dark Knight. Ray
Say
for
Dark Knight.
Rhaenyra. Who else do you
Yeah.
struggle with? Well, we'll figure
Ren-
it out.
Yeah, I just call her Ray Ray.
Ray.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. How'd you feel about this episode? Is it a watch that, John?
Absolutely, it's the Watch That John.
Yeah.
But we missed the crucial conversation between Ray Ray and Alicent, right?
We sure did. All right.
They were talking, and Alicent said that your father changed his mind. Viserys changed his mind, and she said it. And first, Ray Ray didn't believe her, and then she
I
said
felt
it
bad
again.
for her when she said that.
Me
Yeah, when
too.
she said it again and Ray started to believe it, I felt bad for her because it's like, what now? I've done so much and I was
Exactly.
wrong.
And I was wrong, right? And then she was like, yeah, he was talking about what he say?
Aegon's dream, the king that was promised or something
The
like
king,
that.
yeah, the king that was promised. And she
Right,
was
right,
like,
right.
is that what he said? The king
Yeah.
that was promised. And she
Yeah.
said, he was telling the story.
It was like record scratch.
Exactly about Aegon the Conqueror and not your son.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could tell Alicent believed it too because she sat there like, Aegon the Conqueror.
Mm-hmm.
And she told her like, he told you about the song of Ice and Fire. And I think that just realization that crap, it was a miscommunication.
All of this on a miscommunication.
Miscommunication.
It makes
You
me
know?
sick. Yeah.
And then, that she was basically Ray Ray was asking her to come with peace with it and help her fix it. But Alicent was like, it's too far gone now.
Yeah.
Blood has been shed. People are pissed. This is out of control. I don't control the men anymore. I don't control, she never controlled Otto, but she at least had influence over Otto,
The
you
only
know.
one she was able to control was Cole, and that was with her pussy.
Yeah. Yeah, now he's gone,
Now
right?
he's hand.
Now he's ew.
What? Hand to the king. Get your mind out the gutter.
So so yeah, and then her son doesn't listen to her anymore. But even if her son listens to her, it doesn't matter because no one listens to the king. She has no control whatsoever,
Oh
right?
man.
And it's off and running. It's a war is going to happen. I think it's inevitable, and I think this episode kind of solidified it. Like, hey, the two sides who originally started this battle, they know the truth, but it's so far gone they're powerless to stop it.
Just like with the Blackwoods and the Brackens, they said no one knows why they start beefing. It's been so
Yep,
long that the cause is lost on both sides, but they still gonna
exactly.
keep beefing.
Sin begets sin begets sin, right?
Mm-hmm.
And even uh uh not Ray Ray, the older Ray Ray, big Ray Ray. What's her name?
Rhaenys.
Rainice. Yes,
Call
yes.
her okay. Her name sounds like Rhaenys,
I'm.
and she's
Can I call
and
her Auntie
Rhaenyra's her
Ray?
niece, huh?
Can I call her Auntie Ray?
Yeah, call her Auntie Ray.
Okay, so Auntie Ray,
Yeah,
right?
but I was
Auntie
like,
Ray.
her name is Rhaenys, and Rhaenyra is her niece. That's what helps me.
Okay, okay. So Auntie Ray Ray.
Auntie Ray Ray.
So Ray. So are we gonna do Ray Ray and then Auntie Ray Ray?
Yeah,
That
Ray Ray and
works.
Auntie Ray Ray.
Okay. So Auntie Ray Ray was essentially like.
And then Raina is Baby Ray.
Okay, so we got Auntie Ray, Ray Ray, and Baby Ray. I'm
Baby
down.
Ray.
I'm down with it. That's so much easier. All right. So Auntie Ray, right? Auntie Ray Ray, she was basically saying people are going
This
to
story
forget.
is ghetto enough to call her Auntie Ray Ray, honestly.
It is. She said that people are going to forget the root of why they're fighting, And Ray Ray was like, they stole my throne. And then Auntie Ray Ray began to list all the other transactions, all the other transgressions on
Yeah.
either side. Like, did it start when your son took his eye? Did it start when, um, when
Aemon
Aemon killed
ate Luke.
Luke, right? Or did it start with the baby
Aemon ate
beheading?
Luke. Vagar ate Luke.
When did the transgression start? At the end of the day, it won't matter.
It don't matter.
People are just gonna be upset about something because you got it out of hand, right? You got it so bad that people, a family hundreds of miles away, have like in that mill go to war. They hated each other anyway, but they went to war based on
They just
your
wanted a
guy's
reason.
foolishness. They
Yeah.
just wanted a reason.
They just wanted a reason. But that's enough fuel. Like, look what you guys have fueled. Now it's not even in the family anymore.
Exactly.
And I remember someone said it, when the highborns fight, it's the poor who die.
Yep. When the rich wage war, it's the poor who die.
And I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah. Y'all do.
Food for thought, guys. Make peace with your enemies.
That's what Jesus does. Jesus
Go
tells us.
apologize to your ops right now.
Be like J. Cole. Apologize to the ops.
Ain't nobody gonna respect you, but you know what?
Hey, he's better off than Drake. I'm just saying that. He's better off than Drake. But yeah, that's all I got. Thank
It's
you,
a good
y'all.
episode. Definitely a watch that, John, guys. So go check it out if you haven't already.
Yes. Check out the episode, The Burning Mill, House of Dragon.
This episode may
season.
come out. It definitely is going to come out a little later because of the holiday weekend, but we're going to try to do our best to get it out soon.
Absolutely. So thank you for listening to the Watch That John podcast. You can find us on Instagram at Watch That John. You can follow us on our YouTube page at Watch That John podcast. And stay tuned for more episodes coming soon. We're continuing to doing this series, this season of the House of Dragons. So Thank you and have a blessed 4th of July weekend.
Bye, guys.